Whitlow got his hand, won the tap, but James Ogden comes down with it. Gives it to Cochran. Underneath they go. The shot put up, missed by Sean Roof, but he did draw the foul.
They let Ogden sneak in behind them after that tap into back court, and that's what Cochran can do again. He saw him, and he made a real good pass underneath, and Whitlow had nothing to do but foul him.
And Nick, as we have seen quite often, picked up an early foul. That's his first personal, first team foul. Only 8 seconds have run off of this first quarter clock. First free throw is missed by Roof. Second one also missed, and Whitlow gathers in the rebound. Gives it to Stockton. Stockton on the left wing. Behind the back pass to Curd. Down in the corner, left side. Back to Stockton. Underneath the Randy Depp. Wide open under there. Takes it up. Puts it in. Nice assist there from Brandon Stockton.
Great pass by Brandon.
Now Rod Ross, the point guard for St. Mary's, comes across the timeline. Picked up there by Cedric Curd. Ross working it around to the right side. Driving down inside the paint, penetrating, puts up the shot off the glass, no good. Whitlow with the board for the Scotties, gives it to Stockton. Brandon wants to run, now he slows it up just a little bit as he comes across the timeline. At the top of the key.
They're playing just like everybody else did. They were playing 2-3 zone.
Somewhat of a matchup zone right here.
Really paying attention to, they are playing man-to-man. They switch back out of it.
Down low to Whitlow, turnaround jumper inside the paint, no good, but he drew the foul. Nick will go to the line for 2 shots.
They started out 2-3 zone, and when they made the first pass, they kind of went man-to-man. It's kind of a matchup.
First personal called on James Ogden, first team foul on the Vikings. And again, Nick Whitlow going to the line for 2 shots. Nick, a 77% foul shooter on the season, leads the team in that category. He and Brandon Stockton both hitting on 77%. And Nick makes good on his first attempt. Scotties lead 3-0. 7:02 to go in the first quarter. Now make it 4-0 as Whitlow drains both free throws. Full court man-to-man pressure from the Scotties. Cochran dribbles down the sideline down here, got caught up in the air just as Larry said he would in the pregame, and he has it taken away from him. Stockton goes across the timeline, driving inside the paint. Floater, no good from inside there. Ball loose on the floor. Randy Depp chases it down for Glasgow. Depp needs some help. Gives it off to Stockton. Stockton gets it down. Glenn at the top of the key, inside to Nick Whitlow. Turnaround jumper inside the paint, no good. Rebound taken away by James Ogden. Ogden gives to Ross for the Vikings. Ross pulls up for a 3, left wing, it's good. 6:23 to go in the first quarter. Scotties leads 4-3.
That's what you can't let him do, get a good look at the 3 because he can nail it.
Glenn Downs fakes the 3, drives down inside the paint, kicks it out to Cedric Curd, fakes the 3, moves in for the 16-footer, right wing, no good. Rebound taken by Ogden. He gives to Ross. Here comes St. Mary. Ross pulling up on the right wing, now drives, kicks it underneath down there to Sean Roof. He goes up and puts it in. St. Mary's leads 5-4, 5:58 to go in the first quarter. Brandon Stockton pushing, now pulls up, working it around, pull-up jumper at the free throw line, no good, comes up short. Rebound taken by Ogden. Here comes St. Mary again. He gives it to Ross on the front, on the left wing, fires a 3, it's good. Scotties trail 8-4, 5:34 to go in the first quarter. Cedric Curd gives it to Whitlow at the free throw line. Now back out to Cedric on the right wing. Now to Glenn Downs inside the paint. Goes to the basket. Shot rejected, but a foul called on the Vikings. Put it on James Ogden, and that is his second personal already. We've still got 5:26 to go in the first quarter. Second team foul on St. Mary as well.
Well, I think the Scotties inside people have taken it to heart, being outscored the last 2 ball games like they have, and they're really going to the basket. We haven't been able to put one in yet, though, and that's the problem.
Glenn Downs at the line for a couple of free throws. He misses the first. Checking in for the first time for St. Mary, Mike Meyer. He replaces Ogden with those 2 personal fouls. 1 more free throw for Glenn Downs. 2 dribbles for him. Shots on the way. This one is good. The 3-point lead for the Vikings, 8-5, 5:24 to go in the first quarter. John Colgan with it left side. May have gotten away with a travel right there. Gives it to Cochran down along the baseline, and we're going to get a blocking foul called on Randy Depp.
Well, that's what Cochran likes to do. He gets that head fake, ball fake, and then he goes baseline on you. He's very quick at 6'4".
Ryan Cochran will put it in play. Gets it in to Meyer, and now they give it out straight away to Ruth. Now he gives off to Meyer. Shot no good. Rebounded by Ross. Gives it to Cochran. Down inside the paint. Kicks it back out for a three from Colgan. It is no good. And on the rebound, we get a whistle. Sean Roof had the rebound, but we're going to get a foul called on St. Mary. It will go on 0-0. That's Mike Meyer. He picks up his first personal. Third team foul on the Vikings. Full court man-to-man pressure here being applied by St. Mary, and now the inbounds pass into Stockton, and they'll back out of it.
They've got Ross on Stockton, and he's probably as quick a player as they have on the team, so they're trying to match him up with Brandon.
Brandon working it around to the right side. Underneath to Glenn Downs. Glenn with a nice pass, but Nick Whitlow couldn't catch it. Glenn had the shot right there, Larry.
Probably should have shot the ball. You're exactly right. Tried to make a kind of dipsy-do pass in there to Whitlow, and Whitlow didn't hang on to it.
But it does go out of bounds. Last touch by St. Mary, so the Scotties will keep it. Stockton looking to put it in play. Gets it into Curd. Cedric standing out there at the top of the key. Now over on the right wing to Depp. Down inside to Ryan Landrum posting up. And walking called on Ryan. Go ahead. 4:38 to go in the first quarter. Scotties trail 8-5.
Well, so far inside people have gotten the balls and gotten the move, but they haven't been able to penetrate and get the basket.
Cochran shot down inside the paint, rejected by Ryan Landrum. Here come the Scotties. Stockton with the basketball. Gives it to Cedric Curb. Goes to the basket, missed the shot. And here comes Cochran with it for St. Mary. Into the front court to Colgan. Colgan, pull-up jumper from 16, left baseline, no good. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Cochran of St. Mary. Glasgow going to get it back.
Yeah, I think the Scotties, Brandon and Cedric are going to have to get a little bit more involved here if we're going to get back into the ball game, because we're taking the ball inside. We're not getting much done with it in there.
Kyle Johnson and Ty Bowles check in for the first time this afternoon for the Scotties. Stockton with it for Glasgow. Pulls up at the top of the key, needs some help, now gets it off to Johnson. Now he gets it right back. Ty Bowles started to come out instead of pick, but Brandon waves him off. Now works it around to the right side. Pull-up jumper from 15 is no good. Ball lost out of bounds by the Vikings as a couple of their players came down with it, fighting over it, and they lost it out of bounds. Scotties will get it back.
Well, they're really aggressive on the boards. They have 4 people fighting the boards just about every time the ball goes on the rim.
Stockton looking to get the inbounds in. Now does to Curd at the top of the key. Curd gets a pick from Bowles, gives it right back to him now. Ty drives to the free throw line, kicks it back out to Cedric Curd. Now over to Johnson. He'll fire a long three-pointer, no good. Rebound taken by Ryan Landrum. It's no good, the shot, but he was fouled. Nope. What are we going to say here? Yes, we are. We're going to get a foul called on St. Mary.
Well, I thought they fouled him. All the Glasgow's players started running to the bench.
That's what confused me there for a second.
We thought it was a traveling violation or something, but they did call a foul.
First personal called on Sean Root, 4th team foul. And Ryan Landrum misses the first free throw. Scotties, as a team, now 3 of 5 at the line here in this first quarter. Second one on the way. It's good, and it's a 2-point lead for St. Mary. 8-6, 3:35 to go in the first quarter. Rod Ross, picked up by Stockton at the midcourt stripe, gives it off here on the right side to Roof. Roof gives it back to Ross on the left side. Pull-up jumper from 16, no good. Johnson with a long rebound for the Scotties. Gives it to Stockton. Glasgow can tie it up on this trip with a 2-point bucket. Stockton fires a 3, right wing. It is no good. Bowles with a putback won't go. Ryan Landrum got the rebound. Goes back up with it. Got it. We're tied at 8. 3:05 to go in the first quarter. Rod Ross gives it to Meyer here in the front court. Now back to Ross. Ross working it around to the left side, standing out near the midcourt stripe. Picked up his dribble, now needs some help. Gets it off to Ryan Cochran over there on the left side. Pulls up for a 3. It's good.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he shooted.
First points of the game for Ryan Cochran, and St. Mary goes back out in front by 3, 11-8, 2:40 to go in the first quarter. Stockton with it down in the corner right side, and a blocking foul going to be called. I think they'll put it on Rod Ross.
That's right. He went baseline, Brandon did, and Ross thought he got over there, and he hit the floor, but they're going to call the blocking foul.
First personal on Ross, 15 foul on St. Mary. And Ryan Durham going to see action for the first time today as he replaces Cedric Curd. Stockton looking to get the inbounds in. Can't find anybody. Needs to hurry. Now gets it into Ryan Landrum. He fires a 3 straight away. It's no good. Cochran with a rebound. We'll get a foul called on Glasgow. I believe it will be on Ty Bowles. Nope. Sorry, it's going to be Kyle Johnson as he picks up his first personal, third team foul on Glasgow.
Well, we're shooting a lot of three-pointers, but I think they're just a step or two out of our range. We're way back behind the line shooting today.
Now Ross comes across the timeline. Down to Cochran in the corner for a three. Off-balance jumper, no good. Meyer with a rebound. Stolen away, though, by Kyle Johnson. And then we get a reach-in foul on Rod Ross. I believe it'll be on him. If it is, it's his second. And it is. Rod Ross gets his second personal foul here in the first quarter. 16 foul on St. Mary. 2:18 remaining in the quarter. 11-8. Scotty's trail by 3. Stockton working it around to the right side, gives it to Landrum, straight away at the top of the key. Landrum drives and kicks over to Durham for a three, left corner. It's good. And we get a whistle away from the basketball. I think the shot will count. It will. The whistle called on Kyle Johnson. That's his second personal. Fourth team foul on Glasgow. The three-pointer by Durham, though, does count, and we are tied at 11, 2:05 to go in the first quarter. Must have been some pushing underneath the basket down there, so they get Johnson for his second. Now Cochran with it for St. Mary. Gives it over here to Ross on the right wing. Guarded out there by Landrum. Comes get the pick from Cochran. Now brings it out to the top of the key. Over on the left side to Colgan. Now down on the left wing to Roof. Out straight away to Ross. 1-3-1 zone here from the Scotties. James Ogden with it. St. Mary looks a little disoriented right here by this zone.
Yeah, he's going to switch it up a little bit. But we've got a zone, and I believe we've got Josh McCracken playing man-to-man on Cochran.
And Ross fires a three and drains it with Ryan Landrum's hand right in his face. That's 3 threes in the first quarter for Rod Ross. Ryan Landrum with it. Nice move to get open underneath and puts it in. Ryan started out with that basketball at the free throw line, then dribbled through a double team and got to the basket and laid it in. Now Cochran with it. Cross-court pass to Ross for an open three. Corner, it is no good. Ball knocked loose out of there, still loose on the floor. Ross knocks it out of bounds for St. Mary. Glasgow will get it back.
A good hustle that time by Ty Bowles getting on the floor after that basketball, and Ross, I think, knocked it out of bounds as he went to the floor also.
1:03 remaining in the first quarter. Scotties trail 14-13. Ryan Landrum fakes the 16-footer, drives to the free throw line, no good. And the rebound taken in by James Ogden. He has come back into the St. Mary lineup. Now he gets it to Cochran. Cochran brings it into the front court, guarded out front by McCracken. Lost the handle on it, but Ross there to recover it for the Vikings. Driving the baseline down there. Floating jumper, no good after it bounced around there. And the ball still loose on the floor. And we're going to get a jump ball called as John Colgan and Brandon Stockton both had their hands on the basketball. And on the alternating arrow, Glasgow will get possession. Drew Thompson going to check into the ball game. Let's see who comes out. It'll be Ryan Landrum checking out.
Yeah, it looked like Ty Bowles had that rebound, and the ball just hung on the rim, and he jumped too quickly. And when he did come down, he hit the floor, and Brandon made a good move just to get in and tie him up.
26 seconds to go in the first quarter. Scotties trail 14-13. Glasgow will probably hold for one shot right here.
A man-to-man defense by Paducah St. Mary right now.
Stockton dribbling around out here near the midcourt circle. Started out front there by Colgan. Stockton with 7 seconds to go. Down to 4 seconds on the right wing. Pull-up jumper from 3. No good. Ty Bowles had the rebound, but St. Mary comes away with it. And after 1 quarter of play, the St. Mary Vikings lead the Scotties here in the semifinals of this Touchstone Energy All-A Classic State Tournament. 14-13. Back after this 1-minute timeout on WCLU Sports.
Have your gas heating bills gone through the roof? Although gas heating prices have skyrocketed recently, electric rates remain stable. Heating your home with electricity is the same great value it's been for years. In fact, Glasgow's electric rates are up only 7% since 1987. Whether it's the bone-chilling cold of winter or the heat of summer, stay comfortable with reliable electricity from your Glasgow Electric Plant Board.
It's basketball season, and the folks at Automotive Parts and Shop, 704 East Main Street in Glasgow, would like to wish our hometown team, the Glasgow Scotties, the best of luck in the Boys All-A Classic State Tournament. Automotive Parts and Shop recognizes that each individual player is a unique part of a smooth-running, successful team. Just like top-quality automotive parts work individually in a fine-tuned engine. So we at Automotive Parts and Shop would like to extend our best wishes to all the players and coaches in the tournament. Automotive Parts and Shop, located at 704 704 East Main Street, just across from the ice plant.
In that first quarter of play, Scotty's very cold, only 4 of 16 from the floor for 25%, 4 of 6 to the line for 67%. They did out-rebound St. Mary 12-8. Paducah St. Mary shot 5 of 14 from the floor for 36%, 0 of 2 at the foul line for 0%. 2 turnovers for St. Mary, only 1 turnover for the Scotties in that first quarter. Rod Ross with the basketball for St. Mary, puts up the jumper from the free throw line. It is no good, but Ogden there to put it back up and in for the Vikings. And St. Mary moves out in front 16-13, 7:34 to go in the first half. Nick Whitlow gives it to Cedric Curd. Now Glenn Downs with it. Now Josh McCracken has it here on the left wing for Glasgow. Josh puts it on the floor, lost the handle, got it back, puts up the jumper. It is no good. Cochran with the rebound for the Vikings. Cochran across the timeline, running with it, driving down to the baseline, spin move to get loose. We're going to get a foul. I think it'll go on Whitlow.
Yeah, now Nick needs to stand in there and take the charge instead of going up and trying to block the shot. If he had, Cochran comes in out of control sometimes, and I believe he will run over him right there.
Nick draws his second personal foul. That is the 5th team foul on the Vikings. Cochran at the line for a couple free throws. First one up, it is good. 4 points for Ryan Cochran. Brandon Stockton checks back into the game now for Glasgow, replacing Nick Whitlow. Whitlow kind of throws the towel down in frustration over there at the sideline. Second free throw up for Ryan Cochran. It is good. John Colgan returns to the St. Mary lineup, giving Rod Ross a rest.
Well, Glasgow, that's the last time down, was in a diamond and one, and they're playing Randy Depp man-to-man on Cochran.
18-13, St. Mary in front of Glasgow. 7 minutes to go here in the first half. Cedric Curd fires a 3 right wing. It's good.
Gotta have those.
Yes, we do. Cedric's first points of the ball game. And Bart wanted a 30-second timeout right there, but the official didn't give it to him. Now Cochran with it. Double teamed out front, gives it up out front to Roof. Roof down inside, puts up a shot, no good. Ball knocked out of bounds by the Scotties.
Oh, man, nobody but blue shirts there, and Cedric Curd and Josh McCracken got mixed up and knocked the ball out of bounds.
Rod Ross now returns to the lineup for the Vikings. He didn't stay out very long. He replaces Jeff Baker.
Yeah, they've only played, that's their only substitute of the game right there, and they've got their starters back in.
Cochran fires a long 3 right wing. He got it. 8 points for Ryan Cochran. He's got 2 threes. As a team, St. Mary has 5 3-pointers. They got 7 field goals. 5 of them are threes. Stockton down in the corner right side, kicks it out to Cedric Curd. Cedric puts up the running jumper from the free throw line. No good. Cochran with a rebound. And St. Mary looks to extend their 5-point lead. 6:10 to go in the first half. Ross with it out front. Kicks it over down in the corner for a 3. It is no good from Roof. And Stockton goes up and gets the board for Glasgow. Brandon comes across the timeline. Gives it off to McCracken. Josh has a wide open 3. He misses it. Cochran with a rebound for St. Mary. We're going to have to knock down that.
Yeah, Cochran's getting every rebound off the defensive boards right now.
Now Ross gives it off at the free throw line to Ogden. Underneath, going up and putting it in is Sean Roof. 4 points for Roof. Scotty's down right now. I believe it should be 23-16.
Right.
They haven't put those points on the board yet. 5:25 to go. Still haven't put the points on the board. Stockton fires a 3 right wing. It is no good. And underneath, we get a whistle called on Glasgow. Now they finally put the 2 points on the board for St. Mary. The Scotty foul called on Cedric Curd. That'll be his first 16 foul. So now the next foul on either club will put the other at the free throw line, as both teams now have 16 fouls. Well, actually the scoreboard says 17 fouls on St. Mary. Must have missed one somewhere. Now they corrected it. It's back to 6. Scoreboard operator having some problems here. And inbound pass into Roof. He kicks it off to Cochran over here on the right side. Cochran drops to the free throw line, leaves it off down there for Ogden. Depp knocks it away from him, but Ogden gets it back. He gives it to Cochran. Cochran goes to the floor, and we're going to get a foul called on Randy Depp out front.
Well, they're having a hard time with Ryan Cochran, and the only team that's had a hard time with it. He's very active. He can put the ball on the floor at 6'4". He's big enough to get in the lane and cause you a lot of problems. Plus, he's got unlimited range on his three-pointers.
Second personal foul on Randy Depp, 17 foul on the Scotties.
Where the Scotties are getting beat right now is we're accepting the three-pointers and we're not hitting them. Plus, we're not getting on the backboards. I think Paducah has beaten us pretty good on the backboards there early.
Missed free throw by Cochran, but Ogden there to put it up and in. It seems like to me Ogden has all kinds of rebounds. He's got 6 already here in this first quarter of play, and a timeout taken by St. Mary Vikings. It will be a 30-second timeout. And let me credit that basket to Ogden. Scotties now trail Larry 25-16, 4:57 to go in the first half. We better wake up in a hurry.
Yes, we had. It's getting out of hand here early. The Scotties, as I said a minute ago, just not, their defense is not very active. They're active on defense, but Cochran's really breaking the defense down. Ross has hit some three-pointers. He's hit some three-pointers. Plus, they've gotten 3 or 4 offensive rebounds. They've got 4 points off the offensive board so far. So the Scotties just not getting the job done on the boards right now. And offensively, it seems like everybody's just settling for the three-pointer, and they're not going down right now.
Glasgow with the basketball. Stockton controlling it for the Scotties. Gets a pick from Ty Bowles. Gives it back to Ty for a 3 straight away. No good. Landon with a rebound. Goes back up with it. Put it in. 7 points for Ryan Landrum. Scotties trail 25-18. 4:36 to go in the first half. This is Colgan with the basketball. Gives it to Ross here on the right side. Now back to Colgan. At the midcourt circle. Now back to Ross here on the right sideline. Driving, puts up the running jumper. It is no good. Jump ball. No, I'm sorry. We're going to get a foul called on St. Mary.
Didn't see that.
I didn't either, but we'll take it. And they put it on James Ogden. Is that correct? It is Ogden. That is his 3rd personal. And the 17th foul on the Vikings. 4:20 remaining in this first half. Scotties trail 25-18. Ty Bowles will step up to the charity stripe for 1 and a bonus.
Seems like that Paducah is all over the backboards. They're sending 4 people in on the backboards every time down.
Ty rolls in the first free throw. His first point of the ball game. These are his first attempts at the free throw line this afternoon. Second one up. It is no good. Cedric Curd chases down the rebound for the Scotties. Gives it out to Ty for a 3. Left side, no good. Again, Cedric Curd has the rebound. Curd lost the handle, but goes and gets it. Now gives it to Stockton. Stockton working against Ross out front. Pulls up at the top of the key, fires it over to Ryan Durham for a 3 right side. Ryan way too strong with that shot. It goes out of bounds. Last touch, though, by St. Mary. Glasgow will keep it.
Yeah, Ryan usually knocks that shot down. He's done it consistently in this tournament. That time just a little too strong.
Stockton gets the inbounds into Landrum. Ryan dribbling down to the left baseline down there. Spin move to get loose. Put up the shot. No good. We're going to get a whistle called on the Scotties, and that official underneath seems to be awfully liberal with that whistle down there.
He is. He's blowing it really quick on the boards, and that's a lot of fouls has come off the offensive rebound. First
personal called on Ty Bowles, 18 foul on the Scotties. And it will be Sean Roof stepping up to the line for the Vikings. He will be looking for his 5th and 6th point. He's got 4 right now. And Reed Cochran, younger brother of Ryan, checks into the ball game. He is a freshman. Free throw no good. 3 Scotties fighting over the rebound. It goes right to the hands of Reed Cochran, but he blows a wide open layup. Here comes Glasgow. Now Stockton driving inside the paint. Shot off the glass is good. Nice little underhanded finger roll layup, and that for Brandon is his first 2 points. We've got to get him more involved.
Yeah, I think Brandon is taking it on himself now. He knows that something's going to have to make something happen.
25-21. Scotties have closed it to a 4-point lead for St. Mary. 3:23 to go in the first half. Cochran out front. Gives it off down inside to Sean Roof. The shot no good, but he drew the foul. He will go to the line for a couple free throws.
Brandon, I think, got the foul.
Well, I'm waiting for him to put it up on the board here. It is Brandon Stockton. And that is his first personal. At the line, Sean Roof, he makes the first. That's the 9th team foul on the Scotties. Roof misses the second free throw, and Ty Bowles has the rebound for the Scotties. Gives it to Stockton. Brandon driving down inside the paint, puts up the shot, no good. Ryan Landrum with a rebound, goes back up with it, put it in. Ryan Landrum has 9 points in this first half of play. He leads the Scotties in scoring.
Well, we need that help inside, and he's done that off the offensive boards a couple of times.
Now Rod Ross across the timeline. Drives to the free throw line, kicks it out to Cochran down in the corner. He comes out to the wing, fires it over on the left side to Colgan. Colgan gives it back to Ross. He's going to fire a long three-pointer straight away. No good. That ball's going to go out of bounds. I don't think they want that shot from Rod Ross. He must have been a good 7 or 8 feet behind the three-point stripe.
As the scouting report said, they like to put the three up, and they'll shoot it from just about anywhere.
Now Stockton with it for the Scotties. Glasgow can cut it to a 1-point lead with a 2-point field goal right here. Stockton working on Ross, trying to get the pass underneath, and he threw it away. I thought it looked like St. Mary got a hand on that ball, but no argument from Brandon, so maybe he did just throw it away.
I think the ball slipped out of his hands. Really, he was trying to make a move to the basket, and it looked like somebody tipped it.
Rod Ross in the backcourt for St. Mary. Full court pressure from Glasgow, but they break it. Cochran fires up an off-balance three-pointer from about 25 feet. It's no good. Curd with a rebound for the Scotties. Curd across the timeline. He's picked up out there by Colgan. Driving, now leaves it off for Durham down in the corner left side. Pass to Ryan Landrum at the free throw line. He dribbles it out to the top of the key. Try to get it down inside. The pass knocked away. Stolen by Cochran. He leads Sean Roof with the pass. Roof goes and lays it in. 28-23. Scotties trail by 5. 1:50 to go in this first half of play. Stockton with the basketball. Working around to the left side, and a reach-in foul going to be called on the Vikings. Who will it be? It will be John Colgan. That's his first personal. 8th team foul. And Brandon Stockton will step up to the line for one and a bonus. Glenn Downs returns to the Scotty lineup, replacing Ryan Landrum. Drew Thompson also will check in for Glasgow, and he will replace Ty Bowles. The Scotties going with a shorter lineup right here. The tallest man on the floor right now, 6'1". Stockton at the line for one and a bonus. First one on the way, it's good. 3 points for Brandon. These are his first foul shot of the afternoon. Stockton looks to cut it to a 3-point lead for St. Mary. With this free throw, he does. Rod Ross in the backcourt, gives it to Cochran. Stockton guarding him. Cochran moving it around to the right side, picks up his dribble, fires cross court over there to Roof on the left side. Roof puts it on the floor, almost lost it, but got it back. Now gives it to Colgan down in the corner. He brings it out to the left wing, hands it off to Cochran. He goes the other way with it down in the corner, and we're going to get a blocking foul called, I believe, on Brandon Stockton. If so, it'll be his second.
I think that's right. Cochran goes, he's pretty quick himself with the ball in his hands, and Brandon didn't get to the baseline quick enough that time to cut him off.
And that is the 10th team foul on the Scotties. So Cochran goes to the line for 2 free throws. They're in the double bonus now. First one up, it's good.
Glasgow had been on a 9-3 run from the 4:57 mark to cut the lead down to 3 until he made that free throw there.
Second one up, it's also good. 1:22 to go in the first half. Scotties trail 30-25. Stockton blowing by everybody, going in and gets the blocking foul.
That could have been Brandon's third very easily right there.
Luckily, it is not. The foul picked up by Reed Cochran, the 5'11 freshman. That's his first. It's the 9th team foul. Stockton going back to the line this time for 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting. First one on the way. It's good. Brandon, 77% foul shooter, leading the team in that category. He and Whitlow both 77%. Second one on the way for Brandon. This one no good, off the mark. Cochran with a rebound. That's Ryan Cochran with the rebound. He brings it into the front court. Gives it off to Ross over there on the left side. Curd guarding him closely out front. St. Mary's fans wanting a reach-in foul on Cedric Curd, but they won't call it. He gives it off to Cochran over on the left side. Ryan driving down to the baseline. Brandon cuts him off. He comes and gives it back out here to John Colgan. 52 seconds to play in the first half. Ross is pushing off to try to get loose from Cedric Curd, and they didn't call it. Instead, they called a reach-in foul on Cedric, as Cedric tried to recover after that push-off. And Cedric goes and says something to the official, says, hey, man, he's pushing off on me.
Yeah, he did. He uses that offhand when he tries to make a move to either the right or the left, and whichever ball hand is offside, he pushes with it.
Cedric picks up his second personal. Rod Ross going to the line for 2 free throws. They're in the double bonus. First one up is no good. It's off the back of the iron, too strong. Kyle Johnson returns to the lineup for Glasgow, replacing Brandon Stockton with 49 seconds to go in the first half. Maybe trying to keep Brandon from picking up that third foul here.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right.
Second free throw on the way for Ross. It's good. He's got 10 points. 9 of those coming on 3 3-pointers. Now Ryan Durham driving all the way to the basket. Throws it up left-handed. Good off the glass. 5 points for Ryan Durham. Scotty's within 5, 31-26. Nope, 31-28. I'm sorry. They're late putting the score on the board once again. The operator going to have to get it under control here. Now Rod Ross with it at the midcourt circle. Gives it off here on the right side to Ruth. Now down in the corner to Cochran. Drives the baseline down there. Puts up the floater. No good. And we're going to get a whistle called on St. Mary. This will be the team foul number 11. Number 10, I'm sorry. So we will walk down to the other end and shoot 2 free throws. And they put the foul on John Colgan. That is his second personal. Glenn Downs will walk up to the line for the Scotties. These are 2 big free throws. He can make it a 1-point lead right here for St. Mary. If he connects on both, he hits the first. Two points for Glenn in this first half of play. Cedric Curd going to sit back down for Glasgow. Ryan Landrum comes in to replace him. Second free throw on the way for Glenn. It's also good, and it is down to a 1-point lead now for St. Mary. 31-30, 20 seconds to go in the first half. Rod Ross picked up by Durham at the half-court stripe. Now Downs comes out to double team him, gives it off to Reed Cochran. Now over on the left side to Ryan Cochran, his brother. Now cross-court pass over here to Ruth, driving inside the paint. Kicks it out to Ryan Cochran. 2 seconds to go. Going to have to fire up a 3. It is no good. The tap goes down, but it does not count. Good call by the official. There's no way that basket should have counted. It does not. And as we head to the locker room, the Scotties made a run right there at the end of the second quarter. We trailed by, what was the lead? What was the biggest lead right there for Paducah St. Mary?
The biggest lead was 9 points.
So we trailed 25-16 with 4:57 to go, but now it's only a 1-point lead for St. Mary. Scotties fight back. They get back in it, and we head to the locker room. St. Mary leads 31-30. Back after this 2-minute timeout here on. Starting him out front. Now they give it over here on the left side to Colgan. He gives it off back to Ogden on the right side. Gives it to Cochran. Cochran goes up, try to draw the foul, puts up the 17-footer, no good. Cedric Curd with the rebound for the Scotties. Cedric driving along the right sideline right here. Followed all the way down the floor by Colgan. He turns, gives it off to Stockton. Brandon working against Ross. Now gets to Curd over here on the right side. Out straight away now to Randy Depp. Depp gives it over on the left side to Landrum. Landrum going to drive on Cochran. Puts up the shot rejected by Ryan Cochran. And St. Mary has the basketball. James Ogden got the rebound after that block. Now Ryan Cochran gets it underneath to Ross, and Ross almost lost it out of bounds, but St. Mary gets it before it goes out. Colgan has it now over on the right side to Ogden for a three. It's no good. Randy Depp goes up and gets the rebound for Glasgow. 6:47 to go in the third quarter. Neither team on the scoreboard yet here in this quarter. Stockton with it, gives it to Landrum inside. Fakes the pass out front, puts up the shot, no good. The ball being fought for down there, and St. Mary has the rebound.
That was a great move by Ryan Landrum to fake the ball back outside and then turn around and shot it.
Ross fires it over to Colgan for a three. It is no good. Stockton with the rebound for Glasgow. 2-on-2 break, fires it over to Curd for a three from the corner. It's no good. Cochran has the board for St. Mary, and there he goes. He wants to run. Working against Depp, driving the baseline down there. We're going to get a blocking foul called on Randy Depp, and I don't know about this one. This is a questionable call.
But it had to be a travel. I don't think there was that much contact. Somebody hit the floor, but it looked like he just spun around and traveled with the ball.
The official just kind of bailed him out right there. Kyle Johnson checking back in, replacing Randy Depp. As he picks up his third personal, it'll be the first team foul on the Scotties. Cochran gets the inbounds into Ross. Ross driving inside the paint, puts up the shot. It is good. 12 points for Rod Ross. St. Mary heads out in front by 3, 33-30. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Scotties have not yet scored in this third quarter. Stockton underneath the basket, got too far underneath, put up the shot, no good, but Whitlow there to put it back up and in. 4 points for Nick. Ross in the backcourt, guarded by Curd. His pass almost stolen, but it gets through the hands of Kyle Johnson to Cochran. Cochran drives inside the paint, leaves it off down in there. Who is that got the shot? Sean Root gets his 9th point. And a intentional foul called on Nick Whitlow underneath the basket.
Well, I didn't see that. That was all the way down on the other end of the floor, and I don't know what he did.
Bart Fleener trying to find out what Nick did, and the official goes and tells Glenn Downs, who is one of the captains for this ball club. Glenn comes over and says the official told him he delivered a forearm. Cochran going to the line for a couple of free throws. First one's good. Boy, we didn't need that.
No, we didn't. We're not playing very smart right now.
Second free throw, no good from Ryan Cochran as he finally misses one. He's now 5 of 6 at the line. He's got 11 points. 36-32. St. Mary with a 4-point lead, and they will get the basketball after the intentional foul call on Nick.
Sometimes you get too involved about trying to stop one person, as we are with Cochran tonight, and they're trying to rough him up a little bit, and maybe it's taking us out of our game just a little.
Rod Ross bringing it up across the midcourt stripe. Over on the left wing to Colgan. Colgan guarded out front by Durham. Over on the right side to Ogden. Now down in the corner to Ross on the right side. Ross dribbling it out to the midcourt stripe. Comes out, Stockton comes out to hound him out there, and he bothered him big time. He lost the handle off his foot out of bounds.
I thought they might have hit Brandon's foot, but I guess it hit his foot because the referee was right there on top of it.
5:13 to go in the third quarter, so the intentional foul really doesn't hurt Glasgow. It cost them 1 point, but that's it. 36-32, 4-point lead for St. Mary. Glenn Downs with the basketball. Kicks it out to Durham. Ryan drives inside the paint, puts up the shot, no good. He drew the foul, though. He will go to the line for a couple shots from there. The St. Mary foul on Ryan Cochran, that's his first team foul on the Vikings as well. Ryan Durham at the line. First one is good. 6 points for Ryan. He has one more. It is up. It is no good. Long rebound. Chased down by Ogden of St. Mary. He gives it to Ross. Ross along the right sideline over there. Brings it out to the midcourt circle. Picks up his dribble. Gives it off to Roof. Roof leaves it for Colgan over on the left side. They leave him open for a three. Top of the key. It's good. John Colgan gets his first points of the ball game, and St. Mary stretches it back out to a 6-point lead at 39-33. Stockton with the basketball on the right side. Brandon working against Colgan. Gets him off balance, fires a three. It's good. We need more of that from Brandon Stockton. 8 points for Brandon and a 30-second timeout. Going to be taken here by the Glasgow Scotties. And it's a 3-point ball game again. As
did they not give him 3? They only gave him 2?
No, they got it right. It was 39-33 just a moment ago. Now 39-36. At least that's what they had on the board a moment ago was 39-33.
Well, I thought it was 39-34, but I guess they made a mistake there.
4:21 to go in this third quarter of play. And that's a 3-pointer by Brandon, his first points of this second half. He's only got 8. I say only, but Brandon averaging 30 points a ball game, so we'd like to see him get a little bit more involved.
Exactly right. Bart likes to take those 30-second timeouts when you get a big shot like that and get your defense set up.
James Ogden gets the inbounds pass into Roof. Roof comes across the timeline, gets it off to John Colgan over there on the right side. Colgan on the right wing, kicks it out straight away to Roof. Roof back to Colgan, almost put up the 3, instead gives it back to Colgan here on the left side. Now to Ross. Ross lost it, but got it back. Gives it out to Ogden. Now he hands it off to Ross. Ross still going around to the right side. Gives it to Colgan. He fakes the shot. Gives it back to Ross. Now back to Colgan again. Again he fakes the 3 over there from the right corner. Good defense here from the Scotties. They give it up to Cochran. Cochran, spin move to get loose. Fires up. Fires it across the lane to Sean Roof, and he was fouled pretty hard down there by a Scotty.
Ryan Durham, I think.
It is. That'll be his first personal, the third team foul on Glasgow. And it will be Sean Roof stepping up to the line for 2 free throws. 3:46 to go in the third quarter, 39-36. St. Mary leads by 3. First free throw off the mark for Roof. He's got 9 points. He is now only 1 of 5 at the free throw line. Second one up. This one's good. So it's a 4-point lead, 40-36. St. Mary in front. Stockton driving down to the corner right side. Kicks it out straight away to Kyle Johnson. Fires up a 3. It's no good. Drew Thompson fighting for the rebound, but Ross ends up with it for St. Mary. He gives it to Cochran. Cochran gives back to Ross. Rod Ross across the midcourt stripe. Gives over on the right side to Roof. Now over on the left side to Colgan. His 3-pointer blocked by Drew Thompson. Here goes the Scotties. 3-on-1 break. Stockton going to go all the way to the basket, and he'll lay it in. Give Drew Thompson credit for starting that break. He got the block.
Yeah, good move on Drew Thompson. Got a good hand on the ball.
Thompson in the backcourt, guarded by Johnson. And we're going to get a foul called on the Scotties. It's going to be a late foul call. It's going to go on Kyle Johnson. That's his third, the 4th team foul on Glasgow. There was a foul there, but it occurred before the whistle. They give him the foul anyway. 3:04 to go in the third quarter. Ty Bowles checks back in for Glasgow, replacing Kyle.
Well, that's really a foul you don't need. He's deep in backcourt, and you're putting a body on him back there. And I know you want to harass him as much as you can, but it's not a good foul way back there.
Ryan Cochran with the basketball on the right side, working against Thompson. Double team now by Durham. Over on the left side to Colgan. He gives it to Ogden straight away over to Cochran. Fires a long 3, no good. And Drew Thompson's just going to let this ball go out of bounds. And Cochran may have been able to chase down his own rebound there, but he just let it go.
I tell you what, he'll shoot it from anywhere on the floor. It doesn't make any difference how far out he is.
I think the closest 3-point shot he's put up tonight has probably been about a 21 or 22-footer. Stockton driving, pull-up jumper is good, and we are tied at 40, 2:31 to go in the third quarter. And Brandon starting to assert himself now. He's got 7 points in this third quarter. Over on the right side to Colgan as the Scotty crowd gets on their feet to try to get behind this team. Ross driving, puts up the shot, no good. We're going to get a foul out front called on the Scotties. It's going to go on Stockton. That is his third, 5th team foul on Glasgow. 2:19 remaining in the third. Tied at 40. Ryan Cochran to put it in play. Gets the inbounds into Ogden. Now back to Cochran. And he's fouled out front. Drew Thompson picks up.
Yeah, they only have 1 this half, so they're going to be in the bonus a long time before we are.
And now the official going to come over here to check something out at the scorer's table. Is there the third official that's sitting right here in front of us has called him over to the scorer's table for one reason or another. What's going on here? goes over and talks.
I think one of them's cut. Ross looks like got something wrong with it.
Well, they go over and check him out, and they're going to let him stay in the basketball game. Ryan Cochran to put it in, gets it into Ross. Somebody fell asleep. He's got a wide-open three, but he missed it. Stockton with a rebound for Glasgow. Brandon across the timeline. Glasgow looking for their first lead in a long time. Over to Glenn Downs on the right side. Gets it to Ty Bowles. Ty driving. Puts it up from the paint. No good. Now on the rebound, we'll get a foul called on Ryan Cochran as he went over the back of Drew Thompson. Drew got good position right there.
Well, Ty had 1 point blank range right there. You got to make that shot.
Ryan Cochran picks up his second personal, second team foul on the Vikings. 2:01 to go in this third quarter. Stockton to put it in play for Glasgow. Lobs it up for Ty, goes and gets it, puts it up and in off the glass. Glasgow leads 42-40. 3 points for Ty Bowles. Again, the Scotty crowd on their feet across the way. Cochran lost the handle, but gets it back again, fires up a long three. This one no good. Ball being fought for down there, put back up and in. They'll give it to John Colgan, I believe. That'll be his 5th point. Now Stockton working against Ross. Crossover dribble. Trying to get open down here on the right side. Cochran comes over to double team, and Brandon fires up a shot. No good. Brandon couldn't shake loose right there. Fired up a shot he probably should not have. And the pass goes out of bounds. Scotty's going to get a break right here. They led Ogden too much with it. He couldn't catch up with it before it went out of bounds down there along the baseline.
Yeah, it looked like he quit running on it, and Cochran's shaking his head to him right now. He thought he quit on him.
1:16 to go in the third quarter. We are tied at 42. This has been a very competitive basketball game. Stockton working it around to the left side, driving in the paint, puts up the shot. It's good. Not too many point guards in the state that can do that, folks. I can't do it justice over the radio. You have to be here to see it. Over on the right side to Cochran. Cochran gets it out straight away now to Colgan. Now on the left side to Ross for a three. It's good. Big shot from Rod Ross. He puts his club back out in front by 1, 45-44. 15 points for Ross. He has got 4 threes in the ball game. Stockton gives it to Downs. Glenn to the paint. Delivers it down low to Ty Bowles, and he was fouled. Second personal called on Sean Roof. Third team foul on the Vikings. Ryan Landon checks back in for Glasgow, replacing Glenn Downs. 34 seconds to go in the third quarter. Scotty's trail 45-44.
Seems like when the Scotties get the lead, they can't make that big defensive stop, or Paducah just hits a big shot on them.
Stockton gets the inbounds into Landrum. The ball knocked out of bounds. They're going to say Ryan touched it last. St. Mary will get it back. 32 seconds to go in this third quarter. Ryan Cochran with it in the backcourt, guarded back there by Thompson. Now he comes across the timeline. Dribbles to the free throw line, dribbled it off his foot. Ryan Durham has the steal. He's going to go all the way to the basket. Fouled by Rod Ross. Ross will pick up his third personal. 4th team foul on St. Mary.
It's going to be on the floor, too.
So the Scotties will put it in play underneath their own basket down there along the baseline. 21 seconds to go in the third quarter. Stockton gets the inbounds into Durham, down in the corner, right side, now out to the wing to Ty Bowles, out to Stockton. Brandon thought about the three, but we're going to hold it for one shot right here. 10 seconds in the quarter. 45-44, St. Mary in front by 1. Stockton dribbling the basketball around. He'll get a pick from Ryan Landrum. Defender fell to the floor. Brandon's going to have to fire a long three. It's no good at the buzzer. And as we head to the fourth quarter of play, Scotties trail by 1, 45-44. Back after this 1-minute timeout here on WCLU Sports.
Square Deal Lumber Company has a lot to offer at their store in Glasgow. A state-of-the-art facility stocked with a well-thought-out selection of what professional builders and do-it-yourselfers need, combined with good old-fashioned service from experienced staff. When it comes to building, experience really does count. And store manager Dennis Hawkins has been helping Square Deal customers for over 30 years. And Dennis is backed up by a knowledgeable, experienced staff, each dedicated to taking care of their
customers. Square Deal can fill your orders and get you back on the job in a lot less time thanks to a modern store layout and the drive-through lumber shed. And there's more, like equipment rental, steel stock, an extensive line of hardware items. And Porter paints are available in the paint corner, now a part of Square Deal in Glasgow. Square Deal Lumber Company, located on Parkview Drive behind Shoney's and the Electric Plant Board.
Welcome back to Eastern Kentucky University at McBrayer Arena. Getting ready to start this fourth quarter of play. Scotty's trailing St. Mary 45-44. You want to know how competitive this one's been? It's been a one-point lead for St. Mary at the end of every quarter. 14-13 after one, 31-30 at the half, and now 45-44 after three. Scotty's will have the basketball to start out this fourth quarter of play.
And we need a basket right here off the bat. We need to start out well.
Stockton gets the inbounds into Bowles, gives it back to Brandon. Brandon driving, kicks it out to Randy Depp for a three. It is no good. And the rebound taken by James Ogden. Now we're going to get a reach-in foul called on the Scotties.
But I don't think Randy is not the one we really want shooting that three at that situation, but he was wide open. He had a good look shot at the basket.
And Randy just picked up his fourth personal foul, the 17th foul. So St. Mary's is going to shoot free throws on every Scotty foul in this fourth quarter. James Ogden at the line for one in the bonus right now. He's not been there yet tonight. He makes his first one. 5 points for Ogden. Cedric Hurd going to return to the Glasgow lineup, replacing Randy Depp. Randy throws the towel down in disgust as he heads to the bench. James Ogden puts up the second free throw. This one's good as well. 6 points for him. 7:49 to go in the ball game. Scotty's down by 3, 47-44. Stockton across the midcourt stripe. Moving it around to the right side of the floor. Gives it to Ryan Landrum. Landrum on the high post, trying to back down against Ogden. Kicks it back out to Stockton for a three. It's off the mark to the right. Cochran with a rebound for St. Mary. He gives it to Ross. Ross lost the dribble in the backcourt. Needs some help. Gives it off to Colgan. Now gives it to Cochran. Back to Colgan. Now Cochran with it left side. Cedric guarding him out front. Cochran driving. Now kicks it back outside to Colgan. Ryan Durham comes out to get him as he gives it off to Rod Ross out front. St. Mary probably not going to be in any big hurry right here as they spread the floor. They're just passing the ball around the perimeter right now. 6:55 to go. Colgan gets by Stockton, goes to the basket. Shot rejected and saved in bounds by Brandon Stockton. St. Mary crowd does not like it. They felt Brandon fouled. No call, though. Stockton goes to the basket, lays it in. 16 for Brandon. Cochran. Cross-court pass over here to Colgan. He got it to Ross. It went right through his hands, bounced off his head, and goes out of bounds. Glasgow going to get it back.
Maybe the fatigue is setting in just a little bit for Paducah. They've made a couple of bad mistakes here in the last two times down the floor.
And they're going to call a timeout right here to try to get their club a little bit of rest with 6:33 to go in the game. Scotty's down 47-46. Back after this timeout. 1 minute timeout here on WCLU Sports.
It's basketball season, and the folks at Automotive Parts and Shops, 704 East Main Street in Glasgow, would like to wish our hometown team, the Glasgow Scotties, the best of luck in the Boys All-A Classic State Tournament. Automotive Parts and Shop recognizes that each individual player is a unique part of a smooth-running, successful team. Just like top-quality automotive parts work individually in a fine-tuned engine. So we at Automotive Parts and Shop would like to extend our best wishes to all the players and coaches in the tournament. Automotive Parts and Shop, located at 704 East Main Street, just across from the ice plant. When we say glass paving, there's probably very few of you listening that can honestly say, who are they and what do they do? Yes, in our many years of serving this community, Glass Paving has the reputation of being one of the most respected paving companies in the state. Right here at home, Glass Paving is a locally owned, quality-oriented company where workmanship is state-of-the-art and customer satisfaction is our #1 priority. Give the professionals at Glass Paving a call today at 651-6645. It's a call you'll be glad you made.
Welcome back to McBrayer Arena on the campus of Eastern Kentucky University. Stockton with the basketball for the Scotties. Gives it to Courage. 6:23 to go. Down inside to Ty Bowles. Posting up. Kicks it back out to Landrum on the high post. Puts up the shot. No good as he drove to the basket, but he did draw the foul.
I think that's going to be 4 on him, too. Though that's on Ogden, I believe.
That is his 4th. 5th team foul on the Vikings as we inch ever so close to getting into that bonus. Ryan Landrum going to the line for 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting. He's got 9 points. All 9 came in that first half of play. He now gets his first point here in the second half as he drains the first free throw, and we're tied at 47. Second one up. It's good. Scotties lead by 1. 6:18 to go in the game. Rod Ross in the backcourt. Gives it to Colgan. He now walks it up across the timeline. Colgan moves it around to the left side of the floor, gives it to Roof. Roof double-teamed out here, needs some help. Try to get it to Cochran. Cochran comes up with it, but then his pass stolen away by Stockton. They've got a wide-open break. He'll take it and lay it in. Scotties lead by 3. 18 for Stockton. Underneath, they could find Colgan. He was wide open, but he got way too far underneath the basket. Steps down along the baseline, out of bounds. Glasgow gets it back.
Yeah, good move. The pass again, just a little bit out of his reach where he couldn't control it. Maybe we're on a little run here now. We need this to get a cushion.
Need a big bucket.
Paducah is in a 2-3 zone, and they're really paying attention to Brandon Stockton way out front.
Ryan Durham driving into the paint, kicks it out to Ty Bowles. Ty driving to the basket, put up the shot, no good. Ryan Landrum kept it alive, tapped it out to Cedric Courage. Scotties will reset it.
Ross is all over Brandon Stockton. He even had his arm wrapped around his waist.
I've been very impressed with Rod Ross there.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Stockton driving inside the paint, puts up the shot. It is no good. Landrum with a rebound. We're going to get a pushing foul called on Ryan Landrum. He will pick up his first personal. 8th team foul. Maybe I saw it wrong. I didn't see a lot of contact down there, though.
This official here, he really watches those offensive boards. He likes to call offensive pushes and things like that, which, a lot of times they are. I don't know how much contact was on that one, but we had him in the game night before last.
The Newport game.
Newport game. He called a lot of fouls like that.
James Ogden at the line for one in the bonus. First one up, and it's good. 50-48. Scotty lead cut down to 2. 5:14 to go in the ball game. Ogden stepping up to the line for another free throw. It is up. It is no good. And Stockton gathers in the board for Glasgow. Brandon across the midcourt circle, holds up 3 fingers, calling out the play for the Scotties. Gives it over to Curd on the left side. Now back to Stockton, out straight away. Brandon backs up, gives it to Landrum at the free throw line. Ryan turns around, faces the basket, and now he'll pull it back out and hand it off to Stockton. 4:55 to go in the ball game. Scotties lead 50-48. Brandon driving down inside the paint. Shot rejected. We're going to get a jump ball called, and the possession arrow will give it back to St. Mary. Kyle Johnson, Drew Thompson, Glenn Downs all going to return to the Scotty lineup, replacing Ty Bowles, Ryan Durham, and Ryan Landrum.
Yeah, you don't see Brandon. He got into the middle of the lane that time off to the left side there and got into heavy traffic. 3 Paducah players around him, and somebody got a good hand on the ball.
Again, the Scotties need a big defensive stop right here. Scotties lead it 50-48, 4:44 to go in the game now. Sean Ruth gives it on the right side. Now back to Colgan here on the left side. Now Cochran with it, double teamed by Thompson and Stockton. Over on the right side to Ogden for an open 3-pointer. It's no good. Curd there to gather in the board for Glasgow. Stockton across the timeline, fires it over on the left side to Cedric. Takes the 3. Ogden guarding him tightly out there. Gets it to Drew Thompson down in the corner on the left side. Drew brings it back out. Ogden comes out to cut him off, and a timeout going to be called by Glasgow. It'll be a full timeout. 4:12 to go in the ball game. Scotties lead 50-48. Back after this 1-minute timeout here on WCLU Sports.
Our community is growing. If you're new to the area, you know the moving and adjustment process. Find finding a new church, doctor, and mechanic and service center for your vehicles? Bale Oil Company welcomes you to stop in and get to know them. While there, talk to our customers. They'll tell you they've relied on Bale Oil Company for many years. After all, they've been in business since 1953. It's nice to know Bale Oil Company can be counted on for quality products and dependable service. From front-end alignment to oil change, tires, auto parts, and service, go where the locals go. The old reliable Bale Oil Company, downtown Horse Cave. Bale Oil Company for a smooth transition. And you'll also like the friendly folks who long ago moved to Bale Oil Company and stayed.
Joe Myers, Larry Alexander, Bruce Trevue back here with you at Eastern Kentucky University's McBrayer Arena in this semifinal matchup of the Touchstone Energy All-A Classic State Tournament. Scotty's lead 50-48, 4:12 to go in the ball game. Inbound pass into Drew Thompson. Now they give it over to Downs. Glenn fires a three left side, no good. Rebound taken by Sean Roof. Roof gives it to Ross. As we get 4 minutes to go in the game, Ross driving, behind the back dribble, goes up with it, had it stripped, got it back, walked with it, no call. At least it looked like to me he maybe walked. Now kicks it back out to Cochran, now on the left side to Ogden for a three. It is no good. Ball being fought for down there. We're going to get a whistle and a foul called on St. Mary.
Good hustle by Glenn Nows. He took a bad shot down here on the other end, a three-pointer out of his range, but he raided in and got that rebound.
John Colgan picks up his third personal, the 6th foul, so Scotty finally will be in the bonus situation on the next St. Mary foul.
Yeah, the Scotties need a basket right here. It's 50-48, 3:43 to go. We need to score to get our confidence up. We're not getting much done offensively.
We lead by 2. Stockton working it around to the left side. Jump stop, puts up the shot, no good. Curd misses the put back. Kept alive by Drew Thompson. Brandon Stockton goes up with it, puts it in high off the glass.
Offensive rebound, got to keep it alive that time.
And the pass stolen away as Roof could not handle it. Down pass it, gives it to Stockton. 3-on-1 break. Brandon goes, draws the foul.
Brandon needed to dish that ball down to Cedric that time. I think he had 2 points if he did that. Instead, he took it right straight to the basket.
Ryan Cochran picks up his third personal, the 17th foul. So now the Scotties in the bonus. And a 30-second timeout. Who called it, Larry? St. Mary calls the 30-second timeout. So they now have 2 full timeouts remaining. That is it for them. The Scotties have 2 fulls and a 30-second timeout remaining. We've got 3:15 to go in the basketball game. Glasgow out to a 4-point lead, 52-48. Brandon Stockton will be going to the line for 2 free throws when we come out of this timeout.
Well, that's what exactly what we needed. Now, Brandon made a bad shot on the initial attempt. Went to the basket, got in traffic, put it up. Didn't even get close, but 3 or 4 guys kept that thing in play, tipped it a couple times, and Brandon was able to get it back. And when he did, he was able to put it in the basket that time.
So here we go. Out of the timeout, Stockton stepping up to the line. He's got 20 points. He's 3 of 4 at the line tonight. First free throw up, and it's good.
Biggest lead of the game, 53-48 for the Scotties, 5 points.
St. Mary's has had their biggest lead at 9 points. Second free throw up for Brandon. This one's also good. 54-48, 3:13 to go in the ball game.
Hey, you play good defense. You don't put them on the line if you can help it. Just play solid defense and make them hit the shots to beat you.
Rod Ross going to fire up a 3 straight away. It is no good. Stockton with a rebound for Glasgow. Brandon across the timeline, driving, puts up the floater, no good. Ogden went over his back, and we're going to get a whistle. They'll get it on Ogden, and I believe that will be his 5th personal foul.
Yeah,
it will. He's arguing the call, Larry, but not much question about that one. He went right over the top of Brandon's back.
I tell you what, I would rather have Brandon Stockton in the last 4 minutes of the game than anybody I've seen this year. And that's not only on offense, that's defensive rebounding. He gets every loose ball coming off the board.
He's second on the team, Larry, in rebounds at 5.6 per ball game, trailing Nick Whitlow just by 1/10 of a rebound. Ogden, his stats for the ball game is he fouls out with 2:53 to go in the game. 2 of 5 from the field, 3 of 4 at the free throw line. He had 9 rebounds, finishes with 7 points.
Brandon only has one problem. He thinks he can score against anybody and against any number of people. And whenever that mentality leaves him, I think he'll be a better player and he'll be a better assist man.
Stockton hits the first free throw. It's a 3-point lead for the Scotties. Brandon has 14 rebounds, Larry, in this ball game.
Yeah, I tell you, he had 10 last night.
Second free throw up. It's good. Scotties out to their biggest lead, 56-48, 2:48 to go in the game. Fighting for the right to move on to the finals, to the championship game, and we're going to get a foul called out front. Ryan Durham tripped up Rod Ross out there. Ryan will pick up his second personal, the 19th foul on the Scotties.
Well, that's a good move by Ross, and Ryan Durham just not as quick as he is, and got to kind of meet him as he went by. And you don't want to put him on the line, but there's not much you can do about that.
Ross has had an excellent ball game. He's got 15 points. And he now has 16 as he hits the first free throw. He is now 2 of 3 at the line in the ball game. He'll have one more. He can make it a 6-point lead for the Scotties. It's up. He does just that. He cuts into the Scotty lead. 56-50, Glasgow in front. Stockton working against Ross. Going to drive to the basket. Put up the shot off his glass. No good. Ty Bowles there. Puts it up and in.
Yeah, he got away with the walk that time. He did travel.
Now Ross in the backcourt, guarded by Curd. Ross gets it in the front court now to Roof. Roof gives it off to, that was Colgan. He missed the shot, and Ryan Durham has the rebound. Stockton has it down in the corner down there. He's trapped.
First time I've ever seen that.
Yeah, me too. Got trapped down in the corner, couldn't dribble out of it, and is forced to call a timeout. I believe it will be just a 30-second. It will. So now the Scotties left with 2 full timeouts, no 30. St. Mary with 2 full timeouts, no 30. We've got 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go in this ball game. Scotties lead 58-50, and Larry, we may be beginning to see the depth factor for Glasgow taking effect right here.
I think so. I think Paducah St. Mary's is not getting up down the floor like they were early in the ball game. I think it's wearing on them a little bit. They've only played 7 players, I believe, if I'm not correct, and one of the starters is fouled out, so they've got 1 sub on the floor, and some of their guys look tired. Ryan Cochran doesn't look tired, but everybody else kind of does.
2:13 to go in the basketball game. Ty Bowles gets the inbounds into Ryan Durham. Durham gets the pass off to Stockton. Brandon had to chase it down. 3-on-1 break, goes to the basket, put it up and in. Scotty's up by 10, 60-50 as we go under 2 minutes to play. Cochran driving, spin move to shake loose, fires it out to the left side, but he walked, fell to the floor before he got the pass off. Glasgow going to get it back.
Yeah, Paducah's, they've had a good run, but it looks like they're just kind of worn out right now.
10 turnovers for St. Mary in the ball game. Ryan Durham got the pass off, but kind of lost it as he tried to get the pass away. He was trying to get it to Kyle Johnson and ended up being nowhere close, and it goes out of bounds. St. Mary going to get it back.
Yeah, that was 2 more points. Kyle was all by him lonesome.
Ryan Landrum going to return to the Scotty lineup, replacing Ty Bowles. 1:50 to go in this basketball game. Scotty's holding a 10-point lead right now, 60-50. Ross driving, puts up the 16-footer right side, no good. Ryan Landrum goes up way up high to get the rebound, and we're going to get a foul called on St. Mary.
That's the times I've ever seen Ryan Landrum get off the ground.
Yeah, he was way up there that time. The foul is going to go on Ryan Cochran. That's his 4th personal, 9th team foul on St. Mary. And Ryan is going to step up to the line for 1 and a bonus for the Scotties. Scotty's official scorer, Carl Napier, sitting here next to us, said Ryan probably got a nosebleed. He got so high for that rebound.
That was about as high as I've ever seen him get.
And the first free throw for Ryan is good. Second free throw up. It's no good. Paducah St. Mary with the rebound. Cochran has it. Gives it to Roof. Roof will take it across the timeline. Fires it over on the left side. They give it up to Colgan. Now out straight away to Ross. 1:25 to go. Ross fires a long 3. It's good. They're not going to go away. timeout going to be called by St. Mary. A full timeout with 1:21 to go in the ball game. Glasgow leads 61-53. Back after this 1-minute timeout here on WCLU Sports.
A team is a group of people working together for a common goal. The team of 40 people at the Glasgow Electric Plant Board work to provide our community with reliable electric service and world-class communications and technology. As customers of the EPB, you own the Electric Plant Board. The EPB team works for the common good of our community to make the quality of life better for everyone that lives here. Support your hometown. The EPB team is working for you day and night. Call them anytime at 651-8341.
It's basketball season, and the folks at Automotive Parts and Shops, 704 East Main Street in Glasgow, would like to wish our hometown team, the Glasgow Scotties, the best of luck in the Boys All-A Classic State Tournament. Automotive Parts and Shop recognizes that each individual player is a unique part of a smooth-running, successful team. Just like top-quality automotive parts work individually in a fine-tuned engine. So we at Automotive Parts and Shop would like to extend our best wishes to all the players and coaches in the tournament. Automotive Parts and Shop, located at 704 East Main Street, just across from the ice plant.
1:21 to go in this basketball game. Scotty's holding a 61-53 lead. Full court man-to-man pressure applied by St. Mary. Brian Landrum has the basketball, gives it to Stockton. Brandon dribbles through the press, works it around to the right side of the floor. Underneath to Kyle Johnson, wide open, he'll lay it in.
That's what he should have been doing a little earlier when he made some bad shots.
First 2 points of the ball game for Johnson as we are about to go under a minute to play. Rod Ross with the basketball on the right side. Pulls up for a three. It's good. Unbelievable. Rod Ross has got 6 3-pointers in the ball game. And another timeout called by St. Mary.
That little dude can play now, I want to tell you that. What grade is he in?
He is a senior. Thank goodness. We don't ever have to see him again.
He'll be somebody, a good player, maybe not at Division I level, but he's a shooter.
The timeout comes with 54 seconds to go in the ball game. Scotty's leading 63-56. St. Mary now out of timeout. Scotty's have 2 full timeouts remaining. And Larry, at this point for Glasgow, you just put it in Brandon's hands.
That's exactly what you want to do now. They triple-teamed him on the last inbounds pass down there. And Ryan Landrum had to come from back court to get the basketball in bounds. But when he did, when the ball came in, Brandon split those 3 men and got the basketball. And, of course, we ended up with a layup on the other end. That's exactly what we want to do. And see, they're double-teaming him right now, trying to keep him from getting the basketball.
Brian Landrum gets the inbounds pass into Kyle Johnson, and he's fouled.
And another thing, they don't want him to go to the line. If he doesn't have a hand on the ball, he doesn't get to go to the free throw line.
The St. Mary foul goes against Sean Kennedy, who has checked into the ball game for the first time. He picks up his first personal. It's a 10th team foul. So Glasgow now is in the double bonus. They'll shoot 2 free throws on every St. Mary foul. Johnson at the line. First free throw is good. 3 points for Kyle Johnson. Brandon Stockton has 14 points in this 4th quarter of play.
Yeah, and another big stat is that Ryan Cochran has 1 point in the second half, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
And that's been a big deal for us.
Second free throw comes up short, and St. Mary with the rebound. Scotty's lead by 8, 64-56, 45 seconds to go. Cochran fires a long three. It's good. Unbelievable.
He's got more than one now.
14 points for Cochran. Inbound pass into Landrum. He gives it to Stockton. Stockton underneath to Kyle Johnson. Kyle goes to the basket, puts it up, and in. 27 seconds to go. Scotty's up by 7. Baker with it in the backcourt. His pass stolen away by Glenn Downs. Gives it to Stockton. They're trying to foul him, and they're going to give it. Now, I don't really think they ever fouled Brandon, but the official going to give it to him anyway. And now the Scotty crowd, feeling like Glasgow may be moving on into the finals here, gets up to give their team a big hand.
Yeah, it looks like they can put this in the win column with 19 seconds to go, unless they just nail. We throw the ball away extremely a lot here in the last couple of seconds.
John Colgan picked up his 4th personal for St. Mary. Stockton at the line for 2 free throws. first one's good. It's an 8-point lead, 67-59, 19 seconds to go.
Brandon dribbled out of that double team and took it behind his back, and I think he surprised the referee by getting out of the trap, and he'd already blown the whistle for the foul.
Second free throw up for Brandon. It's good. Baker into the front court. Pass stolen by Ryan Landrum. Gives it to Stockton. Will St. Mary foul? They will. With 12 seconds to go, Glasgow leads by 9. Folks, put it in the books. The Glasgow Scotties are moving into the finals of the Kentucky Touchstone Energy Cooperative All-A Classic State Tournament. We will take on Somerset, the Somerset Briar Jumpers. It'll be a 2 o'clock Central start time here at Eastern Kentucky University's McBrayer Arena, and the Scotties going to put in 5 new players after Brandon shoots these free throws. First one, no good. Nick Napier, Chuck Davis, Aaron Fleener, Drew Thompson, all replacing players for Glasgow. Ryan Landrum, Kyle Johnson, Glenn Downs, Cedric Hurd all come out of the basketball game. 5 new players coming in for St. Mary as well. Brandon Stockton will have 1 more free throw. Luke Fleener waits to check in to replace Brandon. Free throw up. It's good. Brandon Stockton now does come out of the ball game. He gets many high fives from his teammates over here on the sideline. 8 seconds to go. Luke Fleener gets a steal, and he is going to pull up for a jumper. It is no good, off the mark. Chuck Davis with a rebound. He's hammered under there, and they're going to call a foul with 0.5 seconds to go.
I don't know why Luke didn't just go on in and lay the ball in and got him 2 points.
I think it was a little indecisive right there.
I don't know what he's thinking about. He maybe want to stop, step out, and shoot the 3. I don't know.
And now Bart Fleener comes out and ribs him a little bit out here on the sideline.
Yeah, all he had to do was take 2 more dribbles and go in and make a layup.
Chuck Davis at the line for 2 free throws. 0.5 seconds to go. This one's over, folks. Glasgow is going to move on to the championship ball game. Free throw for Chuck Davis is good.
Well, if Chuck can hit this free throw, this will be our biggest lead of the game here at the end.
Chuck becomes the 10th player to score for Glasgow in this ball game. Four dribbles for him. Shot is up. It is good. Folks, that's the end of the ball game, and your Glasgow Scotties are moving to the championship game in the Touchstone Energy All-A Classic State Tournament here at Eastern Kentucky University's McBrayer Arena. Your final score, the Scotties win it 71-59 over the St. Mary Vikings. We'll come back after this 2-minute timeout, run through all the stats for you, and talk with Coach Bart Fleener. We'll do that after this 2-minute timeout on WCLU Sports.
Bills.
Honey, what is wrong?
If I open another credit card bill, I'm going to run away. With all these charges from Christmas, I don't know how we'll ever get them all paid off. I guess we'll have to cancel our vacation. Maybe we should sell the house and buy a Winnebago. I'll have to get a second job and learn to sew.
Calm down, dear. It's not that bad.
What do you mean it's not that bad?
I have an idea.
You do? Are we going to rob a bank?
No, South Central Bank is going to give us the money.
Give us the money?
Yes, the bank will give us the money. It's called a loan, dear.
Now I know you've lost it. Why in the world would we take out a loan to pay out more debt?
Now hear me out. Paying the minimum on credit cards will take forever, but South Central Bank is offering interest rates much lower than what we're paying the credit card company. Plus, at the bank we'll have an easy monthly payment and a definite date of payoff. We'll save money, build credit, and establish roots with our hometown bank.
Oh, honey, you really are the smartest man I know. Do you think the friendly people at South Central Bank will give us enough money to take that vacation?
Oh, dear.
South Central Bank of Barron County is an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
With McDonald's new taste menu, there's always a new reason to smile. And right now, we're serving up our new McPhilly cheesesteak sandwich. We take a mouth-watering steak patty, then top it with grilled onions, savory green peppers, melting pepper jack cheese, and mayo, all on a lightly toasted hoagie bun. Add mushrooms for a bit more, and you'll be smiling in no time. Don't wait. Try our irresistible new McPhilly cheesesteak now before it's gone. For a limited time at participating McDonald's.
At McDonald's, we love to see you smile. At McDonald's, we give you reason to smile every time. Introducing the 99-cent Real McDeal. Everyday values on the food you love. Like our tangy McRib Jr. sandwich for just 99 cents. Or our tasty McChicken sandwich, also just 99 cents. And then there's the great value of our newest burger, the Big and Tasty Burger, with lettuce and tomato, only 99 cents every day. So come in now for our 99-cent Real McDeal values.
At McDonald's, we love to see you smile.
Prices and participation may vary.
Joe Myers, Larry Alexander, Bruce Tribune back here with you at Eastern Kentucky University's McBrayer Arena. Again, folks, your Scotties are in the championship game of the Touchstone Energy All-A Classic State Tournament tomorrow afternoon. We will take on the Somerset Briar Jumpers. It'll be a 2 o'clock Central tip time. We will be on the air early, very early. We'll be doing fans in the stands here. Jim, do you have any idea what time we might come on?
Probably go between 1:15 and 1:30.
Okay, Jim Moody tells me we will probably be on the air tomorrow afternoon between 1:15 and 1:30 with fans in the stands here from McBrayer Arena on the campus of Eastern Kentucky University. The tip time again scheduled for 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. If you want to get up here and catch the championship of the girls game as well, you can catch Jackson County taking on Newport Central Catholic. That'll be at 12 o'clock Central Time. That's the girls' state championship game, or All-A state championship game. Jackson County, an excellent ball club. They are nationally ranked.
If you want to see a girls' basketball team, you need to see Jackson County.
Did you watch them this morning?
I watched a little bit of it, and they are tough. They are a good basketball team, ranked number 1 in the state, of course, and that's all teams, and very high in the national rankings also.
Yeah, I believe they are in the top 10 in the USA Today poll. So, again, the girls' championship game will get underway at 12 o'clock Central Time here from McBrayer Arena on the campus of Eastern Kentucky University. The boys' championship game will get underway at 2 o'clock Central Time here at Eastern Kentucky. Again, the Scotties will be taking on the Somerset Briar Jumpers in that championship game. Larry, as we look at this ball game, we said earlier it was a 1-point lead for St. Mary at the end of every quarter. 14-13 after 1, 31-30 at the half, 45-44 at the third. But the only one that really matters, what was it at the end of the ball game? The Scotties lead 71-59. They win it by 12.
That's exactly right, Joe, and that's the only time you really need to be ahead, but you like to do it a little bit better than that, but we'll take it. A big fourth quarter for the Scotties. They won the fourth quarter by a score of 27-14 and kind of pull it away toward the end, and they were headed out the door, on a good run there. I think Paducah really got tired. They only played 6, maybe 7 players the whole ball game, and I think they were really tired at the end.
Larry, let's take a look at your halftime numbers here.
All right, as Joe said, 14-13 lead for Paducah at the end of the first quarter, 17-17 in the second quarter, made it 31-30 at the half, still at 1-point lead. 5-3 run by the Vikings to the 5-minute mark of the third quarter, made it 36-33 in favor of Paducah, and then Glasgow went on an 11-9 run the rest of the quarter, and the quarter ends up tied again at 14-all. So Paducah maintained that 1-point lead at the end of the third quarter by a score of 45-44. In the fourth quarter, they called a timeout with 6:33 to go at the start of the quarter. Both teams had scored 2 points, so Paducah maintained that 47-46 lead to that point. And then another timeout was called by Paducah at 4 minutes and 12 seconds, and the Scotties had gone on a 4-1 run to take the lead at 50-48. And then an 11-5 run to the 1:21 mark made it 61-53, and the Scotties outscored the Vikings 10-6 from the 1:21 mark to the end of the quarter. Glasgow comes up with a gigantic fourth quarter when they win 27-14, and they come away with a 71-59 win here today in the semifinals of the All-A tournament. For Paducah Tillman in the ball game, 4 steals. They had 7 assists, 7 second chance points, only 2 points coming off of Glasgow turnovers. For the Scotties tonight, 9 steals in the game, and we said at halftime they really need to up that total. They only had 2 at the half. They got 7 in the second half. They got 6 assists. They had 11 second chance points, and they had 11 points coming off of turnovers, and 8 of those came in the second half. The basketball game was tied 4 times in the ball game. It was tied at 8 and 11 in the first quarter, tied again at 40 and 42 in the third quarter. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lead changes in the ball game. Randy Depp gave Glasgow its first lead of the game at 7:38 of the first quarter when he had a layup to make it 2-0. Sean Roof came right back for Paducah and gave them the lead at 5-4 at the 5:58 mark of the first quarter. Paducah Tillman then got the lead at 14-13 on a three-pointer by Rod Ross at 1:28 of the quarter, and from that point till the end of the third quarter, Glasgow never had the lead. Ty Bowles gave them the lead with a follow shot at 1:54 of the third quarter to put them up 42-40. And then Paducah Tillman got the lead back when Rod Ross hit another three-pointer to make it 45-40 at 39 seconds of the third quarter. But in the fourth quarter, Ryan Landrum hit 2 free throws at 6:18 of the quarter to put Glasgow up 48-47. And from that point on, the Scotties were never headed. They kept the lead the rest of the ball game. Glasgow's biggest lead came at the end of the game at 71-59, a 12-point lead. And Paducah St. Mary's biggest lead came in the second quarter at 4:57 of the second quarter when they led by 9 points. Bruce, big comeback in that fourth quarter, 27-14, and if you're going to have a big quarter, that's the best time to have it.
Well, it is, and we didn't look like we was ever going to get over the hump, and finally right there we got that run. They tired out, I believe.
I believe they did. I believe they tired out.
We tired them out. I mean, and they played a tough defense. They double-teamed Brandon, and I was very impressed with that Rod Ross. He's got some quick hands because Brandon drove on him once, and he reached in and slapped it away, and he scores well for him, and he's a very good ball player. But like you said, we forced them into 8 turnovers there in the fourth quarter. They had 2 at the half and 13 for the game, and I've got us beating them 10 on the board. Brandon with 29 points and 13 rebounds.
I told Joe during the ball game, I believe I'd rather have him on the boards than anybody we have because he goes and gets the long rebounds, plus he can wade in and get the short one too.
Well, he just knows he's got that, as you say, the nose for the basketball. He seems to knows where it's going to come off. I thought through about 3 quarters, though, a lot of the loose balls, we were getting some slaps, and we'd slap it away from them, and it'd bounce back to them, and they'd get a basket and get some breaks or something like that. And, we started picking up the loose balls there in the second, late in the fourth quarter, and prevail. I mean, outscore them 21-14 in the fourth quarter and win this ball game by 12.
Yeah, and I need to say before I get off the air, I probably won't have a chance to get back home and when Bart gets up here, but Somerset will bring a lot of people. They have a lot of people here today, the biggest crowd that anybody's had, and if we're gonna compliment that, we better get a lot more people here tomorrow than we had today.
Well, and I thought our adults, we had probably more parents or adults here tonight than we did the previous nights, but we didn't have quite as many students, and I wish we could get something worked out where we could get a lot of students up here.
Yeah, because everybody's beat us to death in that category up here, with the exception of Fort Knox. They didn't have very many people.
And there in the fourth quarter, our crowd got behind us too. Everybody was standing up on the far side, and I think they pulled them through, and a lot of help from the crowd tonight. And we need a big crowd because, as you say, Somerset, I have it, and the way this place is designed, you can make some noise.
Oh, you can make some noise in here.
Well, we'll look at the individual stats now, and for Paducah St. Mary's, they were led by Rod Ross with 23 points, 13 in the second half. He was 7 of 19 from the field, 3 of 4 from the line. He had 4 rebounds for his 23 points.